In a dramatic and alarming security breakthrough, the Burkina Faso Army has intercepted a truck allegedly masquerading as a humanitarian aid vehicle, only to uncover that it was carrying a full squad of suspected terrorists.
Welcome to Afriplus News Channel, your #1 source for critical, in-depth news analysis from across Africa and the globe. If you're just joining us, please remember to like this video, share it widely, and subscribe to our channel for more relevant, bold, and well-researched updates like this one. Your engagement helps amplify African voices and keeps stories like this from being buried. We also urge you to drop your opinions in the comment section, respectfully. What do you think about this latest operation by Burkina Faso's military? Who do you believe is truly behind the smuggling of arms and terrorists into the country? Let's keep the conversation alive and thoughtful. This report is based on verified media sources, official military statements, and publicly available information. While every effort has been made to present facts objectively, some details may continue to evolve as investigations unfold. Afriplus News Channel does not promote violence, hate, or conspiracy theories. Our aim is to inform, engage, and empower viewers through responsible journalism in line with YouTube's community guidelines. 3 nights ago, near the remote Kanchari border, close to Togo, a dramatic operation unfolded. Burkina Border Patrol units, acting on a hunch and aided by surveillance intelligence, intercepted a convoy of 47 cargo trucks moving under the cover of darkness. At first glance, the trucks appeared to be carrying goods and machinery, likely agricultural equipment. But something didn't sit right. The soldiers stood their ground and launched a thorough inspection. What they discovered was staggering. These trucks were packed to the brim with military-grade weapons, heavy arms, and, shockingly, individuals suspected of having ties to terrorist groups operating within the region. It was not a convoy of commerce. It was a convoy of chaos. Can we now assume that under the cover of aid, Africa is being flooded with foreign weapons intended to destabilize our nations? What kind of world allows the use of humanitarian disguises to smuggle instruments of war into sovereign countries? Who knew about this operation? And how long has this supply chain existed, moving through our borders like ghosts?
In a dramatic and alarming security breakthrough, the Burkina Faso Army has intercepted a truck allegedly masquerading as a humanitarian aid vehicle, only to uncover that it was carrying a full squad of suspected terrorists. The vehicle, initially presented as a truck transporting goods and materials for a non-governmental organization, NGO, raised suspicions among border patrol units due to irregularities in its documentation and behavior at a routine checkpoint. Upon thorough inspection, security forces made a chilling discovery: the truck was not carrying aid supplies, but a covert group of heavily armed men, allegedly linked to terror operations in the region. The incident reportedly occurred near one of the country's remote borders, a common transit point for insurgent movements. According to military sources, the men attempted to disguise themselves as logistical personnel involved in humanitarian activities, a tactic that has been increasingly observed across Sahelian conflict zones. Authorities are currently interrogating the individuals, and preliminary reports suggest they were en route to a strategic location suspected to be a staging ground for future attacks. The army has since launched a wider investigation into the origin of the truck, the legitimacy of the NGO it claimed to represent, and potential collaborators within or outside the country. This latest interception underscores the growing sophistication of terror networks operating in West Africa and the urgent need for heightened vigilance, not just from state security forces, but from regional and international partners. The use of humanitarian cover to mask terror operations is a deeply concerning trend, one that raises critical questions about the oversight of aid operations and the broader implications for civilian trust and safety. Burkina Faso, under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has vowed to root out terrorism and expose every link in the chain that fuels insurgency in the country. This latest operation adds a chilling layer to that mission, revealing the lengths to which terror cells are willing to go to infiltrate, destabilize, and strike from within.
Under the firm leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso has taken a bold stance against terrorism and foreign interference. Upon receiving initial reports, Traoré didn't hesitate. He gave a direct order: secure everything. Not a single round must be unaccounted for. Interrogate the drivers. We need the truth. This response reflects a new doctrine in West African governance: zero tolerance for threats against sovereignty. But let us ask, are other African leaders prepared to take such bold, uncompromising steps when faced with similar threats? How many would dare to hold the line, even when global powers may disapprove?
In a bold and decisive move led by President Ibrahim Traoré, security forces seized 47 cargo trucks, each packed not with humanitarian aid, but with deadly, military-grade weaponry. The sheer volume and complexity of the cache left authorities in shock. The critical questions now hang in the air: who were these weapons intended for, and who was orchestrating the scheme behind the scenes? The operation kicked off 3 nights ago in the remote outskirts of Kanchori, near Burkina Faso's border with Togo. Just after midnight, border patrol units noticed suspicious activity. What they uncovered was enough firepower to equip a small army. President Traoré, unshaken, issued a firm directive: secure everything. Not a single round must be unaccounted for. Interrogate the drivers, we need the truth. Eventually, one of the drivers, Jean-Baptiste Compere, cracked under questioning. Visibly shaken, he confessed they had been told they were transporting agricultural machinery. Their supposed final destination: a storage depot in Togo.
The interrogation of the drivers opened yet another shocking chapter. One of them, identified as Jean-Baptiste Compere, eventually broke down. Under questioning, he revealed that he and his colleagues were told they were transporting agricultural machinery to a depot in Togo. His visible confusion and fear suggested that even the drivers may have been pawns in a far more sinister operation. If they truly were unaware, it raises even more troubling questions about the chain of command and the organization behind this deception. How can citizens and workers be protected from unknowingly becoming tools in terror schemes? What systems are in place to verify the legitimacy of logistics companies and their cargo across African borders? Let us not overlook the sheer scale of what was intercepted. This wasn't one truck. It wasn't even 10. It was 47, enough to arm a small battalion. Authorities were reportedly shaken by the range, complexity, and volume of the weapons discovered. From sniper rifles to RPGs, the cache seemed purpose-built for large-scale insurgency or even an attempted overthrow. This begs the question: was this part of a broader plan to destabilize Burkina Faso or other Sahelian nations? Is there a silent war being waged against African sovereignty through these covert arms shipments? This development also shines a spotlight on the fragile state of border security across many African nations. If this operation had not been discovered, who knows what devastation might have followed? The Kanchari border, while remote, has now become a symbolic battleground in the war for national survival. How many other borders remain vulnerable? Are African nations doing enough to invest in intelligence, surveillance, and counter-terrorism infrastructure? There is also the international angle to consider. Many experts suspect foreign hands at play, either through proxy groups or direct supply chains that stretch beyond Africa. Arms of this caliber are not produced in Burkina Faso, so the key question remains: who is arming these terrorists and why? Is there an intentional effort to keep West Africa in a state of perpetual conflict so that foreign interests can continue to exploit the continent's resources under the cover of instability? Why does Africa continue to be the battlefield of global power struggles? And when will African nations unite to say enough is enough? As the investigation continues, the people of Burkina Faso, and indeed all of Africa, are watching closely. There is a growing demand for transparency, accountability, and above all, justice. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has so far shown resolve, but his leadership will be tested in how thoroughly this conspiracy is unraveled and how those behind it are brought to book. Will justice be served, not just for Burkina Faso, but for every African life endangered by this conspiracy? And will this operation be the wake-up call that finally prompts a regional security alliance that works for Africa, not for foreign interests? The seizure of 47 weapon-laden trucks in Burkina Faso is more than a headline. It is a clarion call to all African nations. It is a warning about the dark networks operating beneath the surface, and a testament to what decisive leadership can achieve when national interests are prioritized over foreign appeasement. This is a turning point, Whether we rise together or fall divided depends on the choices we make now. Let us stand vigilant, engaged, and united. Let us question what needs to be questioned, defend what must be defended, and most importantly, never stay silent in the face of evil disguised as aid. Thank you for watching Afriplus News Channel. If you found this analysis informative, please like this video, share it across all platforms, and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and never stop asking the hard questions.